Now, let's bring in my panel for this Easter Sunday. James Ashby, running for Queensland Parliament with One Nation. Nicolle Flint, who will be recontesting the seat of Boothby, at the next federal election, pre-selection notwithstanding. And Christy McSeedy, who isn't currently running for any parliamentary office, but is doing great work at the PR Council. Happy Easter to everybody. Thank you all so much for coming in on this glorious Sunday, Easter Sunday. I want to kick off with some of the parliamentary news that we had to deal with this past week, guys, and I want to talk about the Labor government's chaotic detainee legislation that saw the government propose laws that would allow it to ban travelers from countries like Iran that did not take deportees. Here was Foreign Minister Penny Wong on Sky News Sunday Agenda this morning.
This legislation was about making Australia's immigration system stronger. It was about ensuring that people who don't cooperate with a requirement to return can be penalised. And it was about ensuring that we can have a new power to stop granting visas in certain circumstances to those countries who are refusing to have citizens return. Now, obviously, that's a power which would only be exercised where necessary. It's a power which is one tool in the ways in which we seek to manage the immigration system.
Now, guys, I want to talk about this detainee debacle a bit more. I was there in Canberra this week when it all went down. It was amazing seeing Labor get just absolutely rolled by the Liberals, the Greens, the independent crossbench in the Senate, and they were just absolutely knocked out on that. The obvious question is, why are Andrew Giles and Clare O'Neil still in their portfolio? I mean, all they seem to be doing is causing embarrassment and headaches for their Prime Minister. Nicolle, let's start with you.
Well, I think the nation would love an answer from Prime Minister Anthony Albanese as to why Ministers Clare O'Neil and Andrew Giles are still in their portfolios when they are clearly incapable of managing their departments, of managing the policy. And isn't it so telling that they sent Senator Penny Wong, the Foreign Affairs Minister, out to attempt to defend their chaotic handling of migration and detainee system that's been a rolling mess since last June? They've sent Penny Wong out because Giles and O'Neil are in hiding, James. Now, I don't know if you were part of the press gallery pack that was chasing Clare O'Neil around this week, but apparently she's sort of up to about 2 press conferences that she's refused to answer questions at. So, you know, enough is enough. This is just disastrous for the Prime Minister. I mean, good for all of us who do not support Labor's policies or handling of this entire disastrous mess. But this isn't good for the nation, and the Prime Minister needs to act. And he can't hide behind Penny Wong being out there trying to defend the indefensible.
Yeah, no, look, I missed those press conferences. I think I was down at Aussie's doing the real business of the nation, Nicolle. But James Ashby, let me come to you on this one here, because it seems to me that what happened with this legislation is they screwed it up with the NZYQ and they didn't do anything. And then they tried to come across too hard on this and wedge the coalition and, you know, make them look like they were on the back foot. What's your reading on this? And can those two ministers really keep going in their portfolio?
Well, no. But the thing is, the Labor Party don't make these decisions. The factions and the unions make the decisions on who keeps portfolios within the Labor ministry. But the biggest issue here, James, is the fact that the Labor Party had this legislation weeks before we returned to Parliament last week. They made no attempt to consult with either the coalition or the crossbench. They knew the Greens wouldn't go with this legislation. So as far as I'm concerned, the Labor Party are the ones playing politics with this. We know that the Labor Party are laced with unintended consequences when it comes to immigration. If Penny Wong wants to return to Parliament early, I know we've got a 6-week break at the moment, we've got a couple of days off for Easter, do it, Penny. But if you're going to be serious about this, how about we just tear up the 1951 UN Convention on Refugees? Because let's be honest, it is so out of date. It happened 18 years before even man landed on the moon. That's how old this thing is. And we are being taken for mugs in this country by people who aren't coming here for genuine reasons. They're coming here for economic reasons. They're pretending that they're changing religion or they're changing sexuality. Look, unless they've got an OnlyFans site that we can judge on whether they've genuinely turned gay or lesbian or whatever it might be, there is no definitive response that these people can give that says that they are gay or they are of Christianity now and stopping them from going back to these Islamic countries. Let's have a look at the countries in which they're coming from. Let's get out of the 1951 Convention here on refugees. Nicolle, you want to go back into federal politics. Would you support the coalition abolishing the rules that we signed up to in 1951, and let's just set our own standards when it comes to immigration? You want to get back into politics. Are you prepared to do that? Because as far as I'm concerned, and so many other people in this country, it's out of date and it's useless.